Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another collection pickup video. Between yesterday and today, I've gone to swap meets, Oberwheels, pawn shops, and a Blockbuster, and I've been able to pick up some really cool stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. So let's get this video started. First off, like most of my pickup videos, I like to start with the comic books. And there was this guy that was selling a lot of really cheap comic books, but cheap in the sense that it's not stuff I would collect. Early Image, just a lot of books that I don't, I'm not interested in collecting. But between those, he had this issue, issue 21 of the Mighty Avengers. This is the issue after Secret Invasion. Now, I didn't collect Mighty Avengers. I was more of a New Avengers guy myself. But after reading this issue, which is written by Dan Slott, and Dan Slott has done some really cool stuff over at Amazing Spider-Man, I realized that I picked the wrong Avengers book. Dan Slott, at least in this issue that I read, is way better than what Michael Bendis was doing in New Avengers. So when I go to Comic Con, I'm definitely gonna track down his run on Mighty Avengers because, like I said, the storytelling is just a lot better than what Bendis was doing. So there you go. Also, you know me, guys. I love talking about my Club Nintendo, and this is this month's edition. They talk about the upcoming Pokemon Black and White, which I would have actually liked if they held on to that for a few more months and integrated 3D, since the 3DS is about to release. But for what they're talking about in this magazine, I'm really looking forward to that. I love the Pokemon series. I love catching them all, and they're introducing a lot of new elements that make it interesting. So definitely gonna pick up the black version. And they also talk about the upcoming 3DS, which is a console I'm really looking forward to. I'm really excited about that console. It has a lot of things that just appear to make it really cool. And they talk about the upcoming Kid Icarus game and all the awesome games that are going to come out on the thing. Star Fox 64 is going to come out. Metal Gear Solid is going to come out on that. Super Street Fighter, a Dead or Alive game. And the one I'm most excited about is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time in 3D. Ocarina of Time is by far my favorite game. I consider it the greatest game of all time. So I'm already excited about playing my favorite game on the go. But also, I read a rumor that it's going to have Master Quest integrated into the game, so that's going to be epic. I'm going to get the 3DS just for Ocarina of Time, so really looking forward to that. Good issue. Bought some games. First off, I bought the Terminator on the NES. And this is a really bad game. I mean, I already saw the Angry Video Game Nerd talk about it, and oddly enough, I try to track down the games that he reviews to really see if they're bad, and this one is really bad. I would actually, if you want a really good Terminator game on the NES, track down Journey to Silius. That was originally going to be a Terminator game until they lost the license, so they had to change the characters and the name, but that one is a way better game than this one. This one's really bad. The next game I picked up, I wasn't sure if I was going to pick it up because it's a really bad condition, but this lady was selling it at an Overwheels. Really cheap, like really cheap. I got it for less than 10 pesos. But I don't like picking up games that have this amount of damage on them. But this is Barker Bill's Trick Shooting. It's one of the few games I've seen that are compatible with the Zapper. So I decided to pick it up, and I'm glad I did pick it up because it's a really fun game. So, yeah. Next, and another Oberwheels yesterday. This lady was selling two Super Nintendo games, but you had to buy both of them. So the first one I picked up is Soup, published by Viacom, and this is a puzzler. It's a puzzle game, and I love puzzle games. I have to clean it up some, but I already popped it in on Super Nintendo. And it's really fun. Really glad I picked that one up. And the second one, I don't like football games. I like watching football, but not playing it on video game form. There's a few Madden games that I like, and some of the midway games that they released I liked. But I'm interested in if anyone knows, because I'm kind of curious if this is the first Madden game that came out on a Nintendo console. Because it's not called Madden. I know that Madden started on '94, called Madden '94, but this is John Madden's football. So I'm really interested in finding out if this is the first Madden game on again the Super. So that would make it cool, even though I don't like football games. And on for the PlayStation 1, I picked up the greatest hits version of Road Rash 3D. I played a Road Rash version on 64, and I really liked that one. I'm actually trying to track that one down. But this guy was selling this game, and it reminded me of Burnout. You compete in these races, and you can actually smash your opponents with sticks, or smash them into oncoming traffic to blow them away on the motorcycle. So it controls well, and I thought it was fun. So really happy I picked that one up. And at Blockbuster, I had some points. Blockbuster Mexico, I had some points after some purchases, and I decided to trade that for games. And I was able to find two GameCube games that I've been trying to track down. Now, I'm trying to build up my GameCube collection because I really like that console. And so I was able to find Bounty Hunter. The story of this game takes place before Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and it basically explains how Jango Fett got in contact with Count Dooku, who convinced him to, give up his DNA to create the clone troopers. If you played Shadows of the Empire on the N64 and liked that, you're gonna love this game. It's the same style of game. You control Jango on different missions, shooting up enemies or collecting bounties, and you have access to all of his arsenal. So I personally really enjoyed this game. I really liked it. The graphics aren't as good as other GameCube games, but it makes up for it with the play control and the story. So really happy I got that. And the other GameCube game I picked up is the Clone Wars. If you played Battle for Naboo on the N64 and like that, you're gonna like this game too, since you control ships and you go around shooting droid tanks and droids themselves. But you also have missions where you get out of the ships and you use Jedi to stop the droids. And it's developed by Pandemic, who developed Mercenaries, and I really liked Mercenaries, so another reason I picked this one up. So really, really happy. I'm really building a really nice GameCube collection, I think so. Then at a pawn shop, I saw Tekken 4, but I wasn't sure if I should pick it up because on the back, it's written in English and French. Now, at first, I thought it might be a Canadian game, so it wouldn't play on my PlayStation. But I went back home and researched it, and this game is actually part of a collection, the Namco Fighting Collection, which included Tekken 4, Soul Calibur 2, and Tag Tournament. And that collection goes for like $40, so I got this one for $10. And it plays really good, and has a lot of modes to play. And I picked up a few months ago Tekken 3, so it felt right to pick up Tekken 4, so really glad I picked that one up too. On to some movies. I finally convinced my brother to let go of this one, Bloodbath, Wrestling's Most Incredible Steel Cage Matches. He bought it a long time ago at GameStop, and I was like, dude, I've been looking for that one. Sell it to me, and he finally did. It's a 2-disc set. The first disc has highlights of most of wrestling's steel cage matches. Just, it has interviews with the people involved, and it shows highlights of the matches, while disc 2 has complete matches. It has the historic, legendary Superfly Jimmy Snuka versus Don Morocco, where Superfly rises to the top of the cage and just flies through the air. That one's really cool. It has Triple H versus Mankind. It has Edge versus Kurt Angle. But my favorite match on the disc is Bret Hart versus Owen Hart from SummerSlam '94. They really gave it their all in that match, and it's my favorite match on this disc. So really happy I got that. And I picked up Black Beauty. I own Seabiscuit, and I really like horses. I think they're majestic creatures, so I picked this one up. Uh, I haven't had a chance to see it, but I'm hoping it's good. It tells the tale of a horse throughout his life, how he was a farm animal and how he finally ended up with people that loved him. So, really, really hoping this is good. Now, this is a movie I've been trying to track down and also avoiding. That's Creepshow. It has some really all-star talent in this movie. It's directed by George A. Romero, who did Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead. Screenplay by Stephen King, and special effects by Tom Savini. It's an anthology of 5 horror stories, and it really lives up to the name. This movie is creepy, creepy, creepy as all heck. It stars Leslie Nielsen, the guy from Cheers. Uh, all of the stories are really good, but the one that freaked me out as a kid and still does is The Lonely Death of John something or other. It stars Stephen King as this dumb farmer guy that finds a meteorite. The thing opens up and unleashes this ooze. So that thing makes plants grow, and since the farmer touched the ooze, he starts sprouting plants all over his body. And I don't know what it was about that story, but I just rewatched it again, and it still freaks me out. It's a creepy, creepy story. But if you like horror movies, you gotta get Creepshow. It's a really classic movie. Last movie I picked up is Miss Congeniality, and you'd probably be thinking, dude, why did you buy this? But it stars Sandra Bullock. I mean, look at her in that cover. She looks really hot there. And I really like Sandra Bullock from. I liked her in Speed, Demolition Man, and she's really good in this movie. Plus, Captain Kirk, William Shatner stars in this movie too. So it's a funny movie, and again, it stars Sandra Bullock. I couldn't help myself. And the last thing I picked up, and the one I'm really excited about, is this Mario PC game. It's Mario's Game Gallery. I don't collect PC games, but this lady was selling it like for 20 pesos. I don't think I'll be able to play it because it comes in 4 floppy disks. So my computer doesn't have a floppy disk drive. I'll probably have to get one and see if I can install this thing. It's developed by Interplay, but the reason I picked it up is because I know that this is the first time that Charles Martinet did the Mario voice. He's mostly remembered for Super Mario 64, but this is the first time that he did the Mario voice. It's basically a collection of 4 mini games: checkers, yacht, dominoes, backgammon, and go fish. But Mario speaks throughout the game, so I thought that was really epic to have that in my collection. I'm going to see if I can track down Charles Martinet again. I met him a few years back at Comic Con, but I'm going to see if I can find where he's going to be at and see if he can sign this, because that would be really epic to have Charles Martinet's first Mario game autographed. That would be really cool. So it's a weird thing in my collection, but I couldn't resist myself. I could not resist picking this thing up. So yeah, guys, that was my collection pickup video. Like always, I like to recommend stuff that I picked up. So movie-wise, without a doubt, you gotta pick up Creepshow. It's an awesome, awesome horror movie. And game-wise, I'm definitely gonna go with Bounty Hunter. It's not for everyone, but it's a game I'm enjoying, so I'll recommend that one. So until I see you guys again, this is Vargas XX78 signing off.